Hey everybody, welcome back. Turnpike to Turnpike, fantasy football. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm League Commissioner Kevin Mabula, and this is the Week 2 preview show. The first week is in the books. We had some exciting matchups. I'm really excited about the way the league started out. I think it's awesome how we drafted a month early. And we're able to put together these teams that performed exactly how we expected when we drafted them in the first place. So I know you guys are excited. We've got 6 winners, 6 losers, obviously. We've got some interesting matchups from this past week. We've had some pretty interesting storylines happen the first week, some underperformers, some people who performed well above what we expected. But I think that moving forward, we could have a better sense of each and every one of our teams, knowing what we have, what we didn't have. I know a lot of us really didn't value the tight end as much as we should have this past week because the tight ends had a lot of points across the league. So let's start off with the first of last week's matchups. And first I want to talk about the laughingstock of the league last year, which was Aaron Stampa's team, Snoozy Loafs, and he took on Jeff Szyminski's Paper Tiger. And, well, you see here that Team Snoozy Loaf won this one 110-79, where Aaron got 27 points out of Matt Forte, where Jeff got a very nice 34 points out of Carlos Hyde. And then up next from this past week, we have had Bob Crane, Little Bobby Crane's Julius Jones, taking on Jeffariah Hezekiah Goldenbaum. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but he's been on vacation for the past couple weeks, but he should be back now and well-rested with a team that he was able to draft a month ago and, still be able to enjoy. Most of the players should still actually be on the roster. And he did win this one. He won this one 124-105, where Bob got 24 points out of Aaron Rodgers, and let's see, we had the 29 points out of the Carolina Panthers for Jeffariah Hezekiah Goldenbaum. Jeff, I hope you're back. I hope you're well rested, and I hope you're enjoying these videos because I'm sure having a good time watching all the action from the sidelines because my team sucks. Also, I just want to tell you that this other matchup we had DeMarco DePolo taking on the defending league champion Asgardian Thunder Gods, and Mike Bonds, DeMarco DePolo, wins this one 78-66 in a very low-scoring affair, where Bond did get 17 points from Alfred Morris, and Chris got 20 points from Andrew Luck. Got to admit, Andrew Luck, that Buffalo defense is stymieing to opposing quarterbacks. I remember last year what he did to Aaron Rodgers. They are a tough matchup for any quarterback. So, Chris, I'm sure you're not discouraged by Andrew Luck's opening weekend. I think that it was just a matter of being up in Buffalo against that defense that with a ravenous fan base. That was a tough matchup for you to expect him to put up big numbers. In the next match that I want to talk about, we're talking about Matt Dreyfus's Fishtown Off in the Corner. He took on the league newcomer Rob Gioni and his Cosby Sleepers, and the new guy wins this one 101-82, where Matt got 23 points out of DeAndre Hopkins. He looks like he's the real deal and going to be a real big-time receiver this year, where Rob got 27 points out of Rob Gronkowski, which is a great second-round draft pick. I wish I had known that Jordy Nelson was going to tear his ACL a week after I drafted him, the second week of the preseason at that point. I wish I knew that he was going to do that because I probably would have took Gronkowski at that point instead, but I decided to go with the guy who was going to tear his ACL 4 days later. Up next, we've got the Downingtown Grandpas, John Moore's team, taking on Kenny. Sorry, Greg. I gotta get used to just Greg this year. Greg Long's Mount Laurel Lancers, and Greg wins this one. He wins this one 97-89. John did get 31 points out of the really a massive tight end in Travis Kelce, and let's see, Drew Brees did give Greg 22 points. And in our last matchup of this past week, of course, it was my Warriors of Babylon taking on Brian Sheehan's Brady's Ball Deflators. And I got to be honest, I thought I had a chance to win this up until the very end. Bradford, if he actually completed that final drive, he had a chance to eclipse the 400-yard mark, giving me enough points to actually win this one. So I'm a little encouraged by the way my team performed. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it on a week-in, week-out basis, but I'm pretty encouraged, even though I did lose this one, 115-108. My Warriors of Babylon did get 31 points out of Julio Jones, so hopefully he'll be healthy for me all season, where Brian got 24 points out of Antonio Brown. So that's pretty much from last week. I'm not really going to take calls right now. I still don't know how I'm going to build out the rest of this season with graphics and everything. What you probably are going to see more this year is just intermittent videos, like throughout the course of the week. It could just pop up anytime. It could pop up game day morning. It could pop up on a Tuesday night. It could pop up anytime. So keep checking back to the homepage, because I promise you that there will be a smattering of just random thoughts of consciousness that I'm going to blurt out there as I think about how ridiculous our draft is to have as early in the season. But let's talk about the upcoming matchups this coming week. First up, we got the Asgardian Thunder Gods taking on my Warriors of Babylon. This one is a matchup of two teams that lost this past week. Seems like Chris and I have this matchup every year where we're going up against each other 0-1, and one of us is basically going to be done after this week. Next matchup, we got the in-law matchup, where we've got John Moore's Downingtown Grandpas taking on Matt Dreyfus's Fishtown Off in a Corner. That's always a fun matchup. Then we've got Greg Long's Mount Laurel Lancers taking on Jeff Szymanski's Mike Bond's, DeMarco DePolo. I get confused by the drawings. That was the Mike Bond drawing. So we've got Mike Bond taking on Greg Long. And then we've got Cosby Sleepers, which is Rob Giannoni's new team, taking on Julius Jones. So that's going to be the another great match from next week. The new guy taking on the league cantankerous, miserable bastard. That would actually be me this year. And then, of course, we've got the big winner from last week, two winners. We've got Jeffrey Huzikawi Golden Bombs, Hamilton Square Possum, taking on Aaron Stampa's Team Snoozy Loaf in a matchup I'm really looking forward to seeing. So see if Aaron can keep it going, or if Jeff can just, with that awesome team he drafted with healthy players back a month ago, can do really well. And in the final matchup from this coming week, we've got Brady's Ball to Flares, Brian Sheehan's team, taking on Jeff Szymanski's Paper Tigers. So that's it, guys. I will see you guys next week. Keep watching the videos, because maybe I'll pop one in midweek this week. I don't know what I'm going to do. But until then, I'm just going to say I'm League Commissioner Kevin Babula, and put some music in the back. Bye.